And we are on the Mark Hoke Show and very excited to have a special guest in studio today. He is looking sharp and getting ready to get it done at Collision here in Las Vegas. They're going to be at the Virgin Hotels Theater coming up here tomorrow night. So you got to get your tickets if you haven't got them yet to see this man and the whole gang at AEW in action, and maybe get on TV and act a little stupid like some people were doing at Revolution to this guy. We are very excited to have Ricochet in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great here in beautiful Las Vegas. So always good to be home.
Yeah, it is good to be home. I mean, I don't know how many people realize that, but this is your place, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Going on 4 years.
Yeah, it's awesome. So get to perform in front of the hometown crowd a little bit. But it's amazing that when I look back on your career, man, I can't believe that you've been doing this for about 22 years now.
Yeah, I started in 2003. So yeah, October will be 22 years. October will be 22 years now. Yeah, I started training when I was 14. I had my very first match the day I turned 15.
Wow.
And then just been off to the races since that.
That is incredible. And of course, you've been all around the world doing this. But man, what is that like? What was that like stepping into the ring as a teenager? I know we've had some young guys doing some things in Vegas here, but that's got to be scary, man.
Yeah, basically. So in Kentucky, there's like a big commission, like a big athletic commission. And you can't do things like that until you're at least 18 and you got the registration and you go through all of it. So I drove like 10 minutes north up in Illinois, and that's when I started training and just really taking off from there. And you go from Illinois and Tennessee and Alabama and Missouri and all these other states. So I never even really wrestled in Kentucky until way later in my career. But just as a kid, you're just out there doing it because it's something fun. You're hanging out with guys that are are cool, and you're at least getting to see a little bit, going from Kentucky to Illinois to Tennessee to Alabama. Like, so you're not like crazy traveling, but you're still getting to see more than your hometown, especially at 14, 15, 16 years old. So little things like that is just kind of what kept me into it,
Yeah, and what a journey it has been. Of course, all over the West Coast and Japan, which a lot of places, place where you really made your name. I still remember the big one that exposed me to you was that match with Will Ospreay that you guys had, that stunning opening sequence, which may still be one of the best opening sequences in professional wrestling history. I mean, you're still smiling about it. It was pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you get two athletes in there like Ospreay and myself, and that's kind of what you come up with, having a Spider-Man and a Daredevil out there, kind of, that's kind of how it is. But you get two guys like that in there, and that's kind of what you come up with, and it's crazy to see that it's still so widely talked about and known about all these years, almost 10 years later.
How do you put a match or a sequence like that together? I'm sure fans are, that are on the outside and don't really get to see anything out, training works, things like that, or putting a match together. Such an intricate thing that you guys did there, and you still do it to this day. How do you do that?
I mean, you just do it. That's kind of, especially with Will and myself, there is no technicality how to break it down and how to do it. You're born with it or you're not born with it. And Ricochet is somebody who was born with it.
Obviously. And the style that you've created over the years, it's just amazing to watch. And
you see, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. You just said it. No prompt. There was no persuasion. There was no bribery. There was no preconceived arrangements. But you said it. the style that I create. All right. So when you got your Will Ospreays and your Swerve Strickland and your Commanders and I could probably name half the AEW roster who looked up to Ricochet because of his style. So whenever I say it, I don't want to hear people talking about how I didn't do nothing because of my contributions to the wrestling world, we even got AEW. To my contribution. So thanks for saying that.
Well, you're very welcome, sir. I'm glad to help anytime. Well, and now this new persona that you've created, man, you've really kind of put yourself out there a little bit more, getting a little nastier, getting a little crazier with everybody.
Am
And
I or am I just being honest with
well,
everybody?
maybe you are.
Am I getting nasty and crazy or am I just being honest and people don't like the honesty? So then the people lash out at me and then I react to them. You know what I'm saying?
With a pair of
People
scissors?
if necessary,
Yeah.
if necessary.
Well, I'm going to keep mine on the other side of the booth here.
Don't
So,
worry, I got some hidden always.
that's true. That is very true. But people are saying it's some of the best work you've done in your career, and I think it's magnified just how good you are in the ring, and now people are really just like, man, we're into
And
Ricochet.
again, I think that goes to what people are not aware of, but what people have access to, what people go out and they see. Because anybody who literally knows anything about me, about Ricochet, about my journey, knows that there's more to me than just the last 5, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you see in the last 5, 6 years is just a part of my journey. When really my bread and butter, what I was most popular for, is being honest, is doing what I have done these past however many months. That's when I was really the most popular. So now that I am able to just kind of be myself, be honest, tell the people what I think about them, just like they say what they think about me, then that's when you're going to get the best stuff because then I can actually just go out there and tell the people how much I didn't really ever need them. I never needed them. And so just be able to go out there and speak from the heart, and tell these people that however they react is however they react. At least I get to go out there and I get to say my truth.
Well, it was a very interesting reaction that you got at Revolution. Unfortunately, it came up short in the match, but the what was up with all these celebrities going absolutely crazy on you, man? Like Leslie Jones is sitting
Again,
out
I
there with a
think it goes
sweat
to
rag, and
jealousy. I think it's
yeah.
just jealousy. I think Leslie Jones and Ken Jong and Brad Williams, Jay Farrow and Akbar, and I could keep going. All of them are jealous of me. They see that I'm I'm the new hotness right now. They see that I'm skyrocketing. They see that I was beating up their precious Swerve. They see that I was taking out their precious Nana. See, there's so much stuff that I had to deal with. I had to deal with not just Swerve, not just Nana, or the multiple celebrities, but the thousands of fans that were at the crypto.com. I had to deal with Tony Schiavone. I had to deal with all these people. So that's for me where it comes from. They were jealous. They had to show their jealousy and distract me the whole match. And I think really, and then not even just the match. After the match, they were talking about me on Twitter and Instagram. They were instigating stuff. They started stuff online. So I think it just comes down to jealousy, really.
Yeah, you don't hesitate to fire back either. I've noticed that.
I mean, whenever you have a chance to just speak your truth, you can speak your truth. You don't need long to tell the truth because it's just your truth. So I can fire back because I'm just being honest. I don't got to think about something to say. I'm just being honest.
Fair enough. One thing that I've been really impressed with not just with you but AEW, since John Moxley started this Death Riders thing and the whole focus of everybody stepping up, it seems like that a lot of guys in the company have done that, and you're one of them.
Well, I
And
mean, when you got you know 4 or 5 dudes and Sarah I was gonna say, Sarah Connor from Terminator. You know Sarah Connor,
Yeah.
Terminator 2, Sarah
Mhm.
Maria, she kinda Marina, she kinda reminds me of Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 whenever she's, like, all jacked and she's just cool. It well, whenever you got a group like that who are holding everybody accountable and they're holding everybody to a certain standard, everyone's gonna have to step up or they're gonna get beat up. So, I mean, and again, everyone can say what they wanna say about Jon Moxley and the Death Riders, but if you got something to say, then go beat them and change it, which no one has. And, I'm not saying that's me. I'm saying I'm going after Kenny. I'm about to beat Kenny up.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying I enjoy what the Death Riders are doing because they're holding everybody accountable. About time somebody holds people accountable.
Well, that's important too. I mean,
Absolutely.
AEW has been pushing and pushing to get bigger and bigger, and with the new TV contracts and pay-per-view outlets and everything else, and it's got to be an exciting time for you guys. But I think you do know that you got to keep it rolling and get better and better every time you go out.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I think again, Jon Moxley and the Death Riders are that standard. They're holding everybody to that standard. And look, say what you want, but they're winning. Just like all the old greats were winning. Again, back in 1985 when it was Magnum TA versus Nikita Koloff, and Nikita was beating him the whole time, and everybody's mad at Koloff because he was just winning. It's like, well, until Magnum actually beat him, it's like you can't say nothing because you know what I'm saying. If this was back in the day, everybody would just be waiting for someone to change whoever's in charge, what their rules are. People were waiting for that. They were waiting for Magnum TA or someone to come out of the woodworks and beat him. And that's what basically Moxley's doing right now. He's just waiting for whoever's good enough to step up and beat him. So, hey, I'm all for the Death Riders. They're holding everybody accountable. It's about time that people get held accountable. See, I held Nana accountable. I held these fans accountable for their actions. I held Swerve accountable for his actions. And so and now I'm as much as I hate to say it, I know he just got here, but it seems like I'm gonna have to hold Mike Bailey accountable
Oh
too.
boy.
Everyone's all happy about that. It's slow your roll. Slow your roll.
And of course, we're on the Mark Hoke Show here with Ricochet from AEW. He is a top star for this company. How about the top star?
For sure. That's what I
want
was
to do
gonna
it?
say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure.
All right, fair enough. Before I get to what's coming in the future, I did want to ask you. It's funny because you brought up guys like Magnum T and Nikita Koloff, and I'm wondering, how do you think if you got dropped back in the '80s or early '90s, how do you think your style would have played back then? I mean, because it was a very different time, and people weren't doing the things you do. But if you got plopped back in there, how do you think it would go?
I think I would be an alien from outer space that they wouldn't even know what to do with. And I feel like I would just run rampant over whatever division that I was in at the time. Uh I'm already a previous North American champion just like TA. So maybe now I'd have to, you know, do what Nikita did and smack him up a little bit. Uh but I think if I was dropped back then, I think for me, I would dominate. But who's to say? Who's to say?
Yeah, it would have been fun to see. I was just thinking about that how your style would have played back then. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And of course, now we're heading forward here with you're getting Shibata
Mhm.
on at Collision here on Saturday night over at the Theater of Virgins Hotels as part of this AEW International Eliminator Tournament. Let's get your thoughts on that match first before we really start talking about everybody else there. Shibata, man,
Yeah, absolutely.
legend.
Shibata's a legend. I know I said before, I've seen Shibata live. I've seen his matches on television. I've seen him in the ring and what everything he's capable of. I know how dangerous Shibata is. And because of all of that, um, I have given him the option to forfeit. I've given him the option to not even show up. I know he's getting kind of old. Everybody knows Shibata's getting a little old. Who knows if he's got it in him anymore? So I'm doing him a favor and just giving him the option. Let me go to the next round. You don't even show up. Relax. Take the day off. He just had a match on Dynamite. He had the triple threat match was pretty grueling on himself. So who knows if he's even going to be up for it? I'm trying to help him out. Um, I'm not scared. I'm just giving him the opportunity to, for his safety, really, to not show up on Saturday. But if he does, you know, I'm afraid of what's going to happen to him, obviously. And I'm going to move on for sure to the next round, take care of the four J Brones, I guess the three other J Brones in the match, and then go on to beat Kenny Omega for sure.
Well, and assuming that you do move on to that next round,
Assuming.
just, I'm being fair here. Mike Bailey is just debuted in AEW. And, and one thing, I don't know if you guys have any history there, but, you're going to at least have Orange Cassidy and Speedball Mike Bailey. But are you excited to see Speedball here in AEW?
Yes, I'm very excited. Obviously I've known Speedball for I don't even know how long, a long time now. I remember when he first started like debuting and stuff on the independent scene. So I'm very aware of Mike Bailey as well. Orange Cassidy, another guy, plenty of history with. But yeah, it's great to have Mike Bailey, new blood, and on the roster, a new guy that I am going to be able to just smack in his mouth, a new guy that I'm going to be able to just basically dog walk and not have to worry about. But for the company, it's great. I mean, for me, I'm not really too worried, but for the company, it's a great.
So when you do advance to the finals of this and you get to take on Kenny Omega,
Exactly.
What, Kenny coming back from everything that he did, and, you guys all had just an amazing run of matches there at Revolution. What's it going to take to beat this Kenny Omega?
Honestly, the same thing it took back in 2017 when I beat him. It's gonna just me being me going out there, sticking to the plan, doing what I know that I'm the best at, which is winning. That's basically it. I know Kenny's, his stomach's not what it used to be. So he's got obviously a weak point there. Take advantage of that. There's really no weak points on me, so I don't know how he's gonna do that. But yeah, and basically tune out all distractions for one. The same thing's not going to happen at Dynasty that happened at Revolution. No distractions from the audience or anyone really at ringside, and then go out and just stick to the game plan and dominate.
Any thoughts of bringing anybody out there with you to the ringside to maybe give you a little hand there?
That's the thing. I've been doing this so long by myself that I feel, at first I thought that, maybe I needed some help, maybe I needed some people around me. But at the same time, as I thought more about it, I learned that I don't need anybody, especially not right now. I don't need somebody in my corner. The only person that I need is myself. And everyone's going to see that on April 6th when I ultimately beat everybody, win this tournament, and then go on to beat Kenny Omega.
Now, you excited to get back to Philadelphia? I know you and I share that. We're both huge Eagles fans.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. It was just a real fast story for everybody out there. So where I actually met Ricochet was going down to Revolution. We bumped into each other at Ted's Travel Center. I came in the door. I see a guy with an Eagles hat and was going to give him the old fly, Eagles fly. And I turn around and, oh, it's Ricochet. How about that?
Yes.
And then Samantha comes out of the bathroom too. So we got to meet over there. So we got to bond a little bit over being Eagles fans there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, Eagles all the way, since, like, 8th grade.
Oh yeah.
So, to go back to Philly and, especially with a match like this and the caliber of what this is gonna be great. I know that Philly is known for having its hoodlums and its uh, it's crazy fans,
A little, just a little bit.
yeah, it's delinquents, as some would say, it's hoodlums, it's delinquents. The city's full of them for sure, but at least they are gonna to be smart enough to know that a legend has walked into the building, and then they're gonna at least be smart enough to give me the respect that I deserve.
Yeah.
Because Philly is full of delinquents and hoodlums, but at least they're smart to know who greatness when is in front of them.
Well, you wear some Eagles gear, you're going to be all set. You're going to have to worry about a
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Yeah, it's all good. And of course, that's the Dynasty pay per view on Sunday, April 6th in Philadelphia. So we should be seeing Ricochet taking on Kenny Omega over there. But I want to give you a little chance to make somebody happy here. You're engaged to Samantha Irvin, who has just been a great celebrity in pro wrestling for a long time. And I'm just curious, what makes Samantha stand out to you personally? Because we see her, we've seen what she can do, how talented an individual she is. But what does she mean to you? And what personally does she bring to you that makes you go, wow?
Oh man, where do you even start? Uh, I mean, other than obviously her beauty is the first thing you see, but it goes deeper than that. I think for her, I'll say for me at least, when you are as talented as I am, and when you are as good looking as I am, and when you are just as top tier of a person as I am, you know, you then need a partner who can, meet those standards as well or exceed them. And I think she is one of, if not the only person that I've ever met who has exceeded that standard, who has, you know, potentially been more talented than I am, who is potentially better looking than me, who is potentially more top tier than me. She is the only person that I've met that is like that. So when you get someone like her who can match your just not ability, but match your aura, match your vibe, you have to sink your teeth. And then on top of that, she does so much stuff for me, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, everything, spiritually. She helps me out and she really helps guide me in the right direction. Uh, because she just loves to, and she loves to be there for me, and she loves to see my journey, and she loves, you know, what I'm doing and everything. So for me to have someone like that, at my back, on my side, whatever you want to say, is amazing. Plus, she makes great sandwiches. She makes great sandwiches, and so that helps a lot. When you're good in the kitchen, daddy's hungry.
Oh, you were on a roll there for a minute. We'll see what Samantha thinks
What
about
do
the
you
kitchen
what do you
comment.
talk I was the whole thing I was on a roll. What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
you were great.
Oh,
That was a
yeah,
pretty good
good.
answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer.
Yeah. Well, let me, Ricochet, let me give you a chance to hype this thing up again as we get ready to have AEW Collision
Absolutely.
on tomorrow at the theater at Virgin Hotels. I have never been in this venue, so I'm looking forward to getting in there myself and seeing all you guys go at it. Should be a great time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. All your favorite stars will be there, most importantly, me. You get your tickets now, aewtix.com. I'm sure there's still probably some available, especially since I'm gonna be there, it's probably sold out. So good luck if you can get some tickets because they're going fast, especially since, I will be there. But other than that, I think AEW is gonna bring that Sin City vibe to Vegas. We're gonna give the people, especially, everyone who comes to Vegas, they want action, they want excitement, they want thrills. I think Collision AEW will definitely bring that. And then again, top it all off, you got me.
There you go. And that may be just enough. Ricochet, hey, I want to thank you for coming down to the studios and joining us here on 1015 FM K-Dawn, the talk of Las Vegas. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, man. Should be a great show.
Absolutely. I'll see you there.
You bet. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
You got it. Thanks, Ricochet.